Hi, Marissa. Nice to meet you. My name is Maverick. I'm going to be doing your initial intake today to start your uh, process into receiving treatment from us, mental health counseling. Is this your first time seeking out therapy and mental health counseling services?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So before we even go forward, um, some things I want to like lay out just to like put it out there so that you know what's going on. Obviously, everything that we talk about in therapy is completely confidential and will only stay like between us and the four walls. There are very few limits to confidentiality, and those include basically if I have like a legitimate reason to believe that like you or someone else might be in like real danger, then I would be obligated to like act to prevent harm from like future harm from happening. Stuff that's in the past is in the past. Like, like you don't need to be afraid about talking about your past or whatever. Like that's that. The only thing that would cause me to need to break confidentiality and disclose your personal information is if I had a good reason to try to prevent future harm to yourself or anybody else. I work under the supervision of a licensed professional counselor, so me and them engage in supervision and case consultation together, like every week or every other week. So I'll be talking with that person about all my clients and what's going on with them, basically just to make sure that I'm doing a good job and to make sure that you know everything is good between us and um, I'm actually able to help you. But obviously, that's a professional situation and that's also confidential. He's not going to go say anything about what we talk about in our supervision together. Um, if for some reason I'm like subpoenaed or like asked to like speak on your behalf or disclose information about you like in court or whatever, technically I don't have to tell them shit, but I might get in trouble. So like I'll try my best to like tell them the bare minimum of what they're asking while still like respecting your privacy. You know what I mean? That could be another
Mm.
situation where I would be obligated to like disclose some personal info. If there's a situation going on where like a minor is in danger or like any other person belonging to like a protected population. So that could include like the elderly, minors, disabled people, pregnant women, like individuals who are sort of like in a special like protected like population of like vulnerable people, you know what I mean? To be honest, it's pretty hard to like get to a point where like I need to be breaking confidentiality and like spilling the beans about your personal biz. I've never had to do that with anybody, but that's kind of that. So now that that's all laid out, tell me what you sort of what was like your initial impressions of like what counseling is? Like, what have you heard about it?
Mhm.
What do you suspect it to be like?
I think just going and talking to someone you don't know so you
Yeah,
get different input on certain situations
getting like
and
just
guidance.
getting like different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people have the common misconception of like therapists being able to basically like kind of just give you all the answers. We're technically called counselors. Like I have a master's degree in counseling. Like I'm working toward becoming a licensed professional counselor. That's like the actual title of like,
Mhm.
the occupation. Therapist is vague. There's lots of different kinds of therapists. There's physical therapists, occupational therapists, whatever. Technically, we're like mental health counselors. We counsel people, but that does not entail us giving you like advice or like telling you what to do. One, because the main goal of therapy is to promote like autonomy and independence in you. And if you're relying on us to give you all the answers all the time and tell you what to do, then you're never going to be able to do things for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the end goal really is to get you to a point where you don't need to see me anymore or anybody anymore, and you can just navigate the world completely, independently, living like a healthy, happy, productive life. So we try to actually not give any advice or tell you what to do for the reason of it sort of creates like a dependency like on the counselor. Like we
Mhm.
don't want you to need us, we want you to be able to do shit for yourself, do things on your own. And also too, it could become like kind of a sticky tricky situation if we give you advice and it ends up not turning out so well. And then you come back and say, like, well, I did what you said, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And now you're in trouble or whatever, you know, so we don't want to be held accountable for like that kind of stuff. But yeah, the real benefit of therapy, among lots of other things, is kind of like what you said, gaining an alternative perspective to a situation, getting like clarity and insight to help you best navigate this, you know, whatever it is that you're going through in life. But it's really to help to give you the tools for you to be able to do it, for you to
Mm.
do whatever it is that you're, you know, going through in life and navigate that. Um, and like I said, among many other things. But were there any specific things that you were sort of like looking to address in therapy? Like what were kind of some of the things that like brought you in and brought you to seek out services?
The end goal is having a better relationship with my mother.
Okay. Well, you know, it takes two people to have a conversation. So it's a really complicated thing to do if you're the only person like working. I'll just be like straight up about that. But that is definitely a situation that can easily be addressed and helped with in therapy. Um, you wouldn't be the first person, you're not going to be the last person that has a, you know, relationship with their mom that's not very good. So do you feel like that's kind of like the roots of a lot of the like issues that you're like are having in your life, like current or past?
Oh,
You feel like it probably even like branches out further and affects more than just your relationship with her, but maybe like your other relationships as well.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
trusting certain people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like one. I mean, your relationship with your parent is such a huge, significant thing. Like growing up as a child, you know, that's like the first relationship you ever have. That's the first relationship that
Mm-hmm.
you ever know. So that sort of becomes like the staple, like thing to like model and base all your other relationships off of, or to compare them to, because that's the first thing that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if the first relationship that you know, is a relationship that involves like a lot of like fear and like mistrust. You mentioned like
Mm-hmm.
trust and stuff. That's just how you're naturally going to approach other situations in your life because that's kind of like what you've been taught. That's what you know. That's what you know best. That's what you know how to navigate. So yeah, it's even though the situation like has roots like with your mom, it would definitely make sense for it to like affect other areas of your life, even outside of relationships.
Yeah.
It's complicated. It's like a big, you know, ripple, like domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's 100% something that therapy can help with. So a lot of like, I would say probably even like trauma. Like would you use the word trauma
Yeah.
to it like describe your experience in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little more than just like not so good of a relationship. You know, something. You know, the way that we sort of define trauma is like some kind of lived event where like your life was, I'm going to say your life was threatened or you witnessed that. Um, and that could mean lots of different things. It doesn't necessarily mean that like you were like face to face with death, like your life was threatened. It could be like your life as you know it being threatened, you know, your
Yeah.
entire like stability or whatever kind of being like ripped out from underneath you. A lot of different experiences can be traumatizing, um, even if it isn't, you know, the stereotypical trauma event like surviving like some kind of like natural disaster or, you know, something like outrageous like that, you know, something that is perceived by you to be something that is like life changing or like life threatening in a way, you know, like that level of um, stress. So that sounds like it goes deep then. Like this isn't just like a recent thing that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, so there's two things there. Then there's like long past trauma related stuff, and then there's also like real time, like in the present day, like relationship, like day to day, like interactions that also need to be addressed. So there's like the whole lifespan and different areas of it that need specific attention. Okay. Okay. Have you seen I don't know, have you already done like any prior research to coming in here on the topic, like different like other people's experiences, different like possible approaches or insight to the situation, or maybe somebody else's situation that was similar to yours or something like that?
No, I listen to a lot of like podcasts that relate or whatever I take resonates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of podcasts, videos. And then the one book that I didn't fully read, but I was getting there. But it's good so far.
Okay.
So
Sort of like a self-help related kind
yeah.
of book that just talks about what's like the title of it, like what's the main theme of the book?
I think it was like 7 rules of love or 7 rules. Something with love and relationships and just whatever all relationship types.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we go for it.
Haven't gotten far. Anything else going on in your life currently or even in the past in the realm of mental health, like outside of like your relationship with your mom? Any like past experiences with treatment, possible like diagnoses, like different kind of medications that you've been on, any other like past experiences with like your mental, physical health?
I don't think so. That doesn't have to be with my mother.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it's kind of the
No.
main thing.
Yeah.
So,
Involved in sports.
mhm.
Would be
So
like everything.
yeah, you'd say that. Would you say that like so when we're talking about like our relationships, there are two like main kinds of relationships. There's like interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships. Intrapersonal relationship is sort of like an internal thing. It's a completely internal like relationship with ourselves.
Mm.
That's intrapersonal. Interpersonal is our relationship with the outside world, like around us. It seems like most of like the like areas that are giving you like trouble in life are your interpersonal relationships, not so much your own relationship like
Yeah.
with yourself. Like you by yourself, do you feel like you are like pretty like healthy and self-regulated? It's the external environment that is sort of like causing the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like
So
living alone
you enjoy living alone?
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
As I get annoyed to come home.
Right. No, and that's a really significant thing to consider because whenever we look at, you know, like our experiences and like even when like whenever we're looking at possible diagnoses and stuff, we look at like the environment and in which environments do symptoms occur.
Mm.
If you are completely healthy and happy and content on your own and only experience like distressing symptoms in certain situations or certain environments, that's a huge indicator that the problem does not lie within. You know, it's not like a matter of like your own personal like personality or like attachment style or whatever. It's the external environment that you're in that's like hostile and toxic and unhealthy. And it's basically um, validated by the lived experience of you being happy and content when you're alone and only feeling like those distressing feelings when you're in that specific environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good. Is there anything else that you felt was very significant that you like wanted us to know before moving forward with therapy about what you've been going through, what you're looking for?
Yeah, I said the goal is to have a better relationship with her.
Yeah, that's like
But
the long term goal.
I don't know.
Okay. And I mean,
Again, it's
the
like fine how it
yeah.
is
And I
right
mean,
now.
there never
Separation.
there never is just one goal. Like it sounds like that's like the ultimate like end game, like long term goal, but it's going to
Like
take,
tolerate her a little bit.
well, like I said, a it takes two people to have a conversation. It's not, you can't just be the only one doing all the work and just absorbing everything and doing all. You use the word tolerating, learning how to tolerate her. Like that's never gonna create a good, like lasting, healthy
Yeah.
relationship. But that's the end game, like long term goal is have the better relationship with the mom. A goal like that never happens without other goals first. Like there's going to be like steps,
Yeah.
like milestones to achieve that goal, and those are things that you'll like uncover as you go through therapy. Like as you talk to someone and you get to know each other and your situation better, you'll be able to identify those like smaller short-term goals or like action steps that need to happen to lead up to finally achieving your like long-term goal. You might not know what those are now, and that's okay. That's something that you can like explore with your counselor moving forward. So that's okay if you don't actually necessarily know everything that you want to work on right now. You know, there's
I mean,
things
I
that,
feel like it's more of change
right. Well,
or how to redirect
well,
certain situations.
if she's receptive to the idea, there's nothing stopping you from bringing her into therapy with you, and us
God.
sort of yeah. You both want the same thing. It might not seem like it right now, but
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, I don't even know her, and I already know that you both want the same thing, which is like a happy, healthy relationship with each other. You know what I mean? Y'all might have different approaches to trying to, reach that place, but really we all want the same thing. Like we all have the same end goal in mind. So, don't completely just assume the worst just yet. Well, okay. Sounds good. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? All right, cool. Sounds good. We will go ahead and get you scheduled for your first appointment, and then y'all can just go from there.